Live. Let's see. Let's get loaded up here. Let's get the comments going. It's been a while, folks. So
Am I
bear with us
crazy? I
for a
don't
moment.
see you at all.
No, I know. I know you don't see me. I'm in the frame. Okay,
Oh,
I'm in the frame now. What's going on, YouTube? I think you guys should be able to hear us, see us now. Welcome back. It has been. How long has it been, Sydney? Over a year?
I think I released the last video for House of the Dragon. No, I think it
Yeah.
was She-Hulk. It's
Oh
been about a
gosh.
year. Yeah, that
That's
trash.
nothing that we wanted. We apologize for that. Anyway, welcome back to WeSibs, West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where we break down and talk about your favorite movies and TV shows. I'm Chris. This is Sydney, and you know what it is, guys. Tonight is all about Super Bowl commercials. There were some really great ones, so we're going to react to them and talk about them. So feel free to hit us up in the chat down below. We'll be reading comments throughout this live stream. And of course, if you're watching this after it's live, go ahead and still drop a comment and we'll tat it up with you guys there. So, Sid, what kind of trailers do we have going on tonight?
Well, I figure first we can talk. Well, we're not going to go in order because I missed the beginning of the trailers. But I figure first we can talk about A Quiet Place Day One, which is the prequel to all of the Quiet Place movies so far. So I guess first, like Christopher, what was your initial reaction to the trailer? Are you excited? Were you expecting a prequel to The Quiet Place? Were you expecting a third one at all?
Well, I had heard rumors about this trailer coming out, first of all. I will say that was the first movie trailer that came out. I started watching the broad. You're right, technical
I
difficulties.
I forgot that I didn't want to have my glasses on for this.
Too late now. So I actually started watching the game at around 6 o'clock. So from 6 o'clock on, that was the first actual big movie trailer we did get to see. Like I
Oh,
said, I
great.
had heard rumors about us getting a another installment of the A Quiet Place series, which I'm a huge fan of. So I'm really excited to see this. It looks like it follows a different family and a different, the same event but happening elsewhere with another family. Am I
Yeah,
getting that right?
yeah, it seems like it's completely different. Like, well, it's like different in the same universe. I do wonder if we're going to see more of Emily Blunt's character, like their whole family, and now Killian Murphy's kind of his part of the story as well. I can't remember how the second one ended, but I remember enjoying it. So this one follows Lupita Nyong'o, and it also has Joseph Quinn. Lupita Nyong'o. I'm probably mispronouncing her last name, but anyway, it
Very
has
nice.
her and Joseph Quinn, the guy that everyone fell in love with from Stranger Things way back when. I can't remember what his character's name was, but everyone was in love with him. So he's
Very
now.
cool. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good. It looks like it's like I feel like she's sick or something. But it's literally the day that the aliens arrive and how they survive through that. So to me, it gave off really strong, like The Walking Dead first episode, the
Sure.
last. It gave off those types of vibes for sure.
Yeah, where you're just starting to see society collapse. I do remember they had flashbacks in the second Quiet Place movie where they were showing that same
Mm-hmm.
thing happening in terms of the world reacting to the presence of these creatures. So you know it's going to be a lot of action. You know it's going to be really heartfelt. That's what I love about the Quiet Place franchise is that in addition to it just being a zombie type action movie, there's always a heart behind it, and they do really well with their writing of these characters and the family. So you really feel for these characters. I remember the opening scene, I believe, of the first movie where it shows the little boy in the family who had passed away by getting killed by one
Yeah,
of these creatures, and that kind of was
yeah,
the emotional drive throughout the whole movie.
yeah.
So
I
yeah, I'm
will say.
excited.
Yeah, I think they're doing something else that's really interesting, which you don't really see with these type of like post-apocalyptic stories, where we start out, X amount of days after the incident, and then in the second one we move forward, but then in this third one we're moving backwards, and it kind of makes me wonder if they do another one, if we'll move even further back to kind of learn more about these alien creatures and why they came to Earth in the first place. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I think it looks like a good one. I'll watch it. Am I thrilled
And
about
what
it?
do we
No.
have? Do we know the release date on this one?
Let me look. Ooh, that's gonna take me.
Guys,
I
feel
don't
free to hit us up in the comments with any questions that you have about these as well. Um, because it definitely, you know, some trailers we're seeing for the first time, but we've heard about these movies for a while, whether on IMDb or just, the rumor mill. So there's
yeah, so the
information
release
to be
date
seen.
for this one is gonna be May 28th, 2020. Whoop, nope, that's not right. 2021 has already happened. Quiet Place, day one.
2021. 2021.
Okay, it says June 28th.
Mhm.
Yeah, so June 28th this year is when that one's gonna
Okay,
come out.
so summer
You know what
release.
I think we should do?
Yeah. Mhm.
I think with these, we should just be like, what are we gonna rate it? Like on a 1 to 5, how badly do we want to see it? So for me, this one is probably gonna be like a 2.5. Like I want to see it. I'll probably go see it, but I'm not like at the edge of my seat for it.
On a scale of 1 to 5.
5 being like I absolutely have to see this movie, and 1 being like, I'll wait.
Yeah, I could say probably a 2.5. Yeah, I couldn't quite say it's a 3, but yeah,
Yeah,
and that's solid.
yeah,
I always think scale of 1 to 10, but yeah, I want to see it because I've seen I've never been disappointed by one of those movies. So
yeah. That's fair. All right, let's move on to
yeah,
one that I mean, for me, this is absolutely a 5 no matter what, which is
yes,
Deadpool and Wolverine. So, what's your initial?
yeah. I mean, okay, obviously, I'm a big fan of the Deadpool franchise. I think that Ryan Reynolds was born to play the role, clearly. The first and second movies were great. This third one, I think, is going to be fantastic. And what I love about this is just one of the things I really hate about DC, not to bring them into the picture, but Marvel, they haven't had the best track record of it lately. But with this movie, they're definitely giving the fans what they want. They're giving the
Yeah,
fans what they asked for, which is a rated R Deadpool, which is really the only way his character can be done. And they're bringing in Wolverine. Fans were so disappointed with X Men Origins portrayal of Deadpool, and we only got a brief moment to see he and Logan kind of square off, right? But this is going to be the fulfillment of a dream that we've pretty much been dying to see since that moment, and obviously before that with the comics and stuff. So yeah, it looks funny. I love that they're bringing it into the MCU, but they're still keeping him kind of in his own world. Like he can't really interact with some of those characters because he's just going
yeah,
to be
no,
too off the wall.
yeah. I think it's going to be great on so many levels, and I think Disney. I think they would absolutely butcher it and mess it up, but I really do trust Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman too as people who love the characters that they play and are like dedicated to doing accurate comic book representations of them, even though, now Deadpool is in this new kind of family appropriate world that is Disney. I'm also really excited because we know that Tom Hiddleston is coming back. We know that Owen Wilson is coming back. So there's going to be some strong ties between what's happening in Deadpool and the TVA and what happened at the end of Loki. And that's clearly going to be how they bring not just Deadpool, but I think all of the X-Men into the MCU. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the Marvels, we know for sure now that it's going to be Bryan Singer's X-Men that are coming in. It's not going to be
Yes.
the newer version, even though like I love Michael Fassbender, would love for that man to be there, but it's fine. It timelines with the
I'd
X-Men are
love
such
for that man to be there.
just saying. Timelines are a mess, but I, as a really big X-Men fan, am super excited to see the X-Men come into the MCU, and I think doing it through Deadpool with the TVA and like Loki season 2 ended really well, so I'm really excited to see how all of those pieces come together.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed to say, I did not watch Loki season 2.
Yeah, well, you
I've been
failed.
very
So
vocal for a long time about how disappointed I've been with Marvel, DC, and I've just had a distaste for a lot of the superhero shows. So after She-Hulk, I needed a break, okay? And
yeah,
so, but it is cool to see. I am aware of Loki season 1, so I all the time agency was familiar to me and stuff like that. So it makes sense that they would be bringing him in because that's really how the MCU branched into the multiverse, really explaining it with like Kang the Conqueror and things like that. So I think this movie is going to be over the top with the action. It's going to be over the top funny. And to see Wolverine, how about that suit? The classic
Just
Wolverine
gonna lose
suit.
my mind. I'm
It's just
just
going to be one of those epic comic book moments. You know, the likes of which I don't think I've really seen since seeing Batman and Superman on the screen for the first time with Snyder's BDS.
Yeah, that's an interesting comparison because I feel like Batman and Superman, like for us, for comic book readers, that was such a like, oh my gosh, live action. They're physically going to be in the same room like that. It's going to be awesome. But it's
Yeah.
interesting now because, well, I still feel like this. I feel like kids who are fans of Marvel, they probably haven't even seen the older X-Men movies, so they might not have the same nostalgia. Like these movies are clearly made for us, you know?
Yeah.
So back in
90s kids, 90s,
accurate.
80s.
Yeah, like 90s babies, yeah. Um
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm so excited. I'm
Yeah, it's going to
definitely
be great. Five, it's a five in terms of wanting to see it. And I really think with Ryan Reynolds at the helm, they're going to blow it out of the park.
yeah,
So
yeah, I totally agree. All right, so that's a 5 from both of us on that. It's an absolute must see.
must see.
Moving right along, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. How do we feel?
Yes.
Do you
Yeah.
care?
I mean, yeah. Well, I started the last one. Did you have any initial reaction before we dive into that though, guys? You know what to do. Be sure to subscribe as well as click the bell so you don't miss when we drop more videos if you're enjoying this kind of content. Planet of the Apes. I'm a pretty big fan of the franchise. It's not my favorite franchise, but it's probably top 15 for me in terms of movie universes.
All right, if it's top
So,
15, I feel like it nobody cares
well,
about the top 15.
yeah, no,
But
there are
okay.
a lot of but okay, if you got DC and Marvel, the MonsterVerse for me is huge. There are a lot of franchises that I'm really big fan of. Yeah, you're not Ghostbusters, you know. But yeah, okay, you could even maybe say top 10. I don't know. I've never done a video on that. We should do a video,
We should
let us
do
know in the
that.
comments, guys, where we do our top franchises. But yeah, okay, so we know this story. Caesar has started the Oasis. The Planet of the Apes movies have shown that the apes have taken over. They're starting their civilization, they're rising, right? And so now the interesting thing is that the humans have reverted to a animalistic type of nature. They've become, I guess the movie's trying to allude they're more caveman like. They've lost all modern invention. They're very basic and rudimentary in their tools and techniques and things like that. And so now it is a fight for humanity to not be enslaved to the apes.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I rewatched the trailer because I had missed the first time it went out. And I'm not gonna lie, after the first one, I definitely lost track of these movies. To me, they all kind of blur into the same ones. As like, to me, like Planet of the Apes back in what I don't know, the '60s. To me, is the same as the Planet of the Apes now.
it
Like,
was definitely not the
I
60s.
just it's all the same. The monkeys take over the world, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Andy Serkis is great as Caesar. So I'm always just like I look forward to seeing that man perform as a monkey. Um,
Wow.
it's
I
true.
like seeing that man perform as a monkey.
It's like a main
Okay.
draw for me.
Wow. That's so weird.
But
You know what's funny you mentioned real quick is Planet of the Apes gets a little confusing just like Jurassic Park does because
yeah,
they keep trying to use the name in the title,
yep,
Jurassic World, Park, Jurassic Kingdom, like Jurassic whatever. And so with Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, you just get confused as to what, even if it was like the subtitle, like Planet of the Apes Kingdom, right? Or Planet of the Apes, you know what I mean? Or Planet of the Apes
yeah.
2, Rise, it would be easier to keep track. But if you're just reading the titles, the average moviegoer, they're not going to look at that list and know which one chronologically came out before.
No.
I mean, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of
And
the
it's
Apes.
also like the title is so long in and of itself. Planet of the Apes is such a
Yeah.
mouthful, but like I think everyone is used to saying it so much now that like it kind of just runs all as one word. But like
Yeah.
then you got to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. It's just too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me,
Yeah.
I'm just excited to
It gets
see it.
confusing
Um,
as a
but
monkey.
yeah, I mean, after rewatching the trailer, we know that homegirl from The Witcher is in it. which will be interesting because she has dark hair. So it took me a minute to
One
recognize
girl
her.
for Yen.
Huh?
Yen is in this one.
No, not Yen, the other one, the little blonde girl.
Oh, Siri.
Siri. Yeah, she's in
Yeah,
it. Um,
that's cool.
and from what I get in the trailer, I guess this is like me being so like I don't know things going on. I think the monkeys have killed off the humans, and they try to act like they just kind of fell off. They're not existing anymore.
No, so humans are on the they are on the
Yeah, they're
they're
on
on
the
the
outskirts,
downturn.
but it
Yeah,
seems
they're not
like some
extinct.
no, right, no, they're not extinct, but it seems like one of the monkey kind finds out. It's just one of the monkeys finds out that the other apes have been killing the humans off. Instead of just like they're being pushed to the outskirts, they've been killing them like genocide. That's a big thing.
Yes. Yeah, it's just funny. I don't know why, but every time you say monkey, it's just funny the way you say it. Um,
So yeah,
yes. Yeah, and so
am I
there's a
excited to
division
see it?
in the yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 3. Nah, maybe a 2.
Mm, I actually want to see Quiet Place more than that, so I will put it at a 2.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2.
Yeah, out of 5, guys. Again, 2 out of 5. I don't know why you did 1 to 5. Most people do scale 1 to 10, but okay.
1 to
It's a
10 is
2 out
too
of 5.
much. You have
No,
too
it's
many
not.
options.
Because Quiet Place would easily go at like a 7,
I
six
think
and
I'm
a
gonna give a
half, as
Quiet
where
Place a
Planet of the
3.
Apes would probably be like a 5. I could take it or leave it.
I'm gonna give Quiet Place a 3 and Planet of the Apes a
Stop. Now you're
2.5.
confusing me because you're changing your. No, stop. Just don't do that. Oh,
Next,
God.
Twisters. I guess I'll say what I thought about
Yeah, kick
Twisters.
it off. Yeah.
Twisters. I was just distracted because there are a lot of fine
Twisted.
guests. So, I was a little distracted by that.
Really?
Um, it seems like an interesting story. I've never seen the original Twister, but everyone says that it's great. I mean, one of our like really good childhood friends cites it as one of her favorite movies. So maybe I'll
Oh.
watch that before it. But anyway, this one is about a young group of hot, trendy people, and they're storm chasers, and you have Anthony Ramos out there telling them, "Oh, storm's coming! Oh, snap! It has a twin!" And then you have what's her name, Daisy Edgar Jones, the girl from Where the Crawdads Sing. Um, she's out there chasing storms the way you're supposed to do.
Crawdads.
And then you have Glenn Powell, who's just like the sexy, wild cowboy of storm chasing, and he's just not doing it according to the book, and he's gonna upset her, and then obviously they're gonna fall in love and stuff. But I mean,
Obviously.
it seems like they're gonna be calling back a lot of nostalgia of the original one. But I
Mhm.
do have hope that it's just gonna be like the original one, just like a classic, good storm related movie, where you have characters. It's not too complex or anything like that. You just enjoy the ride. That's what
That's really interesting. Yeah, I think this one is going to be super dumb, and I actually have it at a 1. I just don't. The thing is, it's movies are either out of this world or they're realistic type movies. Storm chasing is not that interesting. I mean, in real life, no one does the things that they're going to be doing with these storms. And for me personally, I get Sharknado vibes from Twister. It's just like not that it's going to be cheaply made or that the acting won't be good like Sharknado, but it's just like the concept is a little too out there to be a grounded, like realistic movie, like a Independence Day or Day After Tomorrow type disaster movie. But it will not
interesting.
be so far out that I can suspend my disbelief and be like, wow, look at this world. Like nobody's gonna jump into a twister on purpose and try to like blow it up. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's actually what happens in the story. I think they
I
try to
know.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's definitely going after Day After Tomorrow, like just good disaster movies. And like those movies are completely unrealistic, but you love them because they're just so simple and you love the characters, you love the nostalgia. So I think that's what they're shooting for in this. Um, I think they really are trying to go after like Top Gun 2 vibes, where it's just like, you
Yeah, but
know,
see, Top Gun was a realistic movie. It was so realistic that some of those flight scenes were not even CGI. It was just real.
yeah, I mean, it was realistic on a practical sense. I feel, I mean, there are real storm chasers out there in the
Of
world, and
course.
tornadoes do happen. So,
Yes, but I guess the difference is they are taking something that does happen in real life, but it will have almost nothing to do with what real storm chasing is about. Have you ever watched those movies? I mean, those videos on YouTube that are like expert in this reviews movies like this, like U.S.
oh
Sniper
yeah,
reviews Army movies or whatever. I feel like you're gonna get real like storm chasers reviewing this movie and being like, yeah, like 90% of this movie is not even realistic, and I think that's just what's gonna be the all I'm saying is I won't be able to suspend my disbelief. I'll just be like, no one in the right mind would do these things.
I hear that. I think I
And it's
just
like
dis
for what?
it science. Well, anyway, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
like I said, it's a one for me.
There's a lot of hot men in that movie, so I'm there for
Yeah,
that.
see, I think you have an I think you have an ulterior motive there.
No, I would be down to watch it anyway, but it probably is gonna bump a little bit higher on my thing because of that. Like I'm gonna give it a 2.7.
More than the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, you want to see people chasing around powerful wind
Yeah, I think so. I think
because they're
so.
trapped.
Yeah, I think that's what I
But the thing
want.
is, it's like how many times? It's such a one-trick pony. Like the opening sequence will probably be a storm. The end sequence will probably be a storm.
No, that's
It's
the
like
thing. That's why they're calling it. Also, they're calling it Twisters, which means there's going to be two of them, right? So
at
clever because
least
the first one was called Twister and it was just one. So the second one is like two. It's a lot of interesting stuff going on.
yeah, you
Anyway, I
get your
think
money pass or
first one
your
because
AMC
people,
stubs worth out of that.
yeah, it's true. People cite that the first Twister as like one of the best movies. So I think it's gonna have to be good. So I gotta see the first one. But yeah, I'm
Holy
gonna lean
smokes.
hard into that 2.7.
That's really bad. That's really bad. Okay, all right.
Whatever.
There we
All
go.
right.
One to a
So
2.7.
those were kind of like the main ones. Now we have some honorable
Yeah,
mentions we can talk about if we want to.
or
Do we want to?
dishonorable. Yeah, hit them. Let's go.
All right, Wicked Part 1. What do we think?
Rapid fire. Trash. I'm gonna say a one.
I'm gonna give Wicked a 4.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I saw the original musical and it was amazing, obviously. I mean, Kristen Chenoweth was amazing. What's that other girl's name? Let It Go. What's her name? Who's Princess Anna?
I
Not
don't
Anna,
care. I don't
the
care.
Frozen girl. Okay, anyway, it's gonna
Uh,
get on my nerves. I can't remember her name. Anyway,
Anna
Adina
Kendrick?
Menzel.
You talking about Anna Kendrick?
No, Adina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth were in the original Wicked on Broadway, and they were amazing. And so I know that it's a good story, and I think the movie will be interesting. Also, I think a lot of people are probably going to want to go see it because, I mean, Cynthia Erivo is amazing. Ariana Grande, whatever.
Are you
Jonathan
Sydney?
Majors.
Hold on. You just rated this the highest movie except for Deadpool that you want to see
I liked the
because it's got
musical.
Ariana Grande and some people from a musical. Like this is not what?
I just think it's going to be, I think
You've
it's
been
going to
in
be a good one.
California too long.
No, Cynthia Erivo, she has a beautiful voice. I'm probably
Who
not pronouncing
cares?
her last name right.
That's great for an album,
And
but we're
she's a
talking
great
about.
actress.
Oh boy.
She
All
is.
right.
I think
So
it's gonna
you
be
said a
Christopher. You
4.
liked
I'm
a Little
so
Mermaid, okay? You thought a Little
A
Mermaid
Little
was
Mermaid. It's the
exceptional.
Little Mermaid number one, and I said it was great for what it was. For
Yeah, I think Wicked is gonna be great for what it
you
is.
say that? Yeah, okay, yeah. But do I want to go see it? Like, am I itching to go see Wicked? No, I have no desire.
All
Like
right, I'll put it at a 3 because
that's
I'm not.
never gonna beat the Broadway. You're just not. So it's like, why are they doing it?
I think because it is gonna be better than Broadway in that
You know. No,
movie versions of
no,
movies. There's so much more that you can
no,
do than you can in Broadway.
no.
Anyway, this is supposed to be rapid fire. I'm gonna give Wicked a 3. Next, Dune
You said
Part
a
2.
four. You see, you keep changing your
Yeah,
votes
because
too,
I'm being
guys.
bullied.
It's just like these movies that the honorable mentions get higher ratings than the actual movies we rated.
Moving right along, Dune Part 2. What are we thinking?
Why is that an honorable mention? I'm excited for Dune. I think the first one
It's
was
an
overly long. They could have accomplished a lot more in less time. But if you're talking about scale, scope, these actors have had time. They're good actors, okay, with Timothy and Zendaya. Getting more time with these roles, the story is good. I think if they can shorten the runtime, I know it's a big epic, much like Oppenheimer. They want you to see it in the movie theater. They want you to see it in the format it was designed to be shown in. So, not honorable mention. I would put this up there at a 3.5 for me, because Dune is just one of those big franchises that whether it's amazingly successful or not, it is going to be it's going to set the standard for what big blockbuster movies should look like and should feel like, going into 2024, 2025. It's just going to be
yeah,
epic.
no. Would you put it at a 3.5?
Yeah, 3.5 to, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you could, yeah. I couldn't really see giving it a four because at that territory, it's kind of like my nostalgic, like favorite franchise type thing, and it's not one of my favorite franchises by far. But it's just like Oppenheimer, the level of technical achievement that's going to happen, seeing these good actors get more time, and just knowing that I'm very much a fan of, not to get on my soapbox, but I'm very much a fan of movies that are not held to the restrictions today of a 2 hour runtime. You got to be funny. You got to have this character and that character, comedic relief, lighthearted, this, that, and the other thing. Like just like with Joker, just like with the Batman, just like with Zack Snyder's Justice League. I love it when they let them go and let them do something cool. And I feel like Dune is one of those
Yeah.
franchises.
Yeah, I think for me, Dune is probably going to be a 4, but it's because I'm that much excited about the spectacle of it. I'm also really
Yeah.
excited to see the cast. I mean, Zendaya wasn't really in the first one, so I'm excited to see her more. I think I like watching Timothy Chalamet act, so I'm excited to see him do something with the character. I didn't think he
A
was
lot of
that
people
great.
do.
Huh?
I said a lot of people do. Yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah, so
okay.
I'm
He's all right.
see if he'll step up to the plate and like give a good performance. Because I thought he was just okay in the first one.
I
But I mean,
agree. I think it was a lot
all
of
the
brooding.
actors. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'll give it a 4. Okay, next one. If the Ryan Reynolds movie directed by John Krasinski, the one about the imaginary friends.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. No, just kidding.
Oh
This
my
is a
goodness.
one for me. This is like, can I give it a -1? Like, this is just not in my alley. Maybe, PG-13, kids and their families. Maybe mom and dad would want to take Johnny and Susie out to see Ifs. I mean, this is just, I'm a 27-year-old dude. I like action, grit, heart, cinema,
I'm
beauty.
gonna
Like, that's what I
say
like. The Ifs is just not that for
these are
me. It's
just
like
honorable
McDonald's.
mentions
I
because they had
understand.
commercials
I
in the Super Bowl.
I understand. So for me, it's going to be a -1. I have less than no desire to
I
see this
think
movie ever.
I think it's probably going to be a 1 for me because I like John Krasinski as a director so far. I think he did a great job with A Quiet Place, and so I'm really interested in seeing how Ifs goes. But that's really it. Like I have no desire to see it, but then watching the trailer, I was like, it's giving me like, I mean, I've never seen bedtime stories, but it's giving me like,
With
you know,
Ryan Reynolds?
bedtime stories vibes. Yeah, no, I have no
Oh,
desire to see
Adam
it.
Sandler. Was Bedtime Stories Adam Sandler?
Yeah, it was Adam
Yeah.
Sandler. Yeah, I've never seen it. Or Pixels. Movies I've never seen and had no desire to see, but like maybe I should have watched them. I don't know. That's me for if.
Yeah, I just
Um
don't understand how like Wicked.
okay, this one like Dune didn't have a trailer in the Super Bowl, but it's been getting a lot of buzz, so I figured we could talk about it. This is The Fall Guy. Have you seen the trailer for this?
I have not. You got me stumped on that one.
Okay.
Explain it
Uh
to me. What's the
Basically
story?
Ryan Reynolds is a stunt actor, and he's in a bunch of movies. He's like the stunt guy. And basically what happens is the actor he does stunts for disappears and ends up dead or something, and Ryan Reynolds has to like figure out who it is. Emily Blunt plays the director of the movie that he's in. And it just looks like a high flying sort of funny but also like kind of gritty good action movie. So
Oh,
for
action movie. Okay. Yeah, I
yeah,
like
it's
Ryan
an
Reynolds.
action.
And go ahead.
Yeah, it's an action thriller. So for me, I'm gonna put it. Ryan Gosling has really been surprising me with some of his movies. Like he has
Wait, is
no
this
business being
Gosling or Reynolds?
Gosling.
Oh, I thought you said Ryan Reynolds. Okay,
I hope I
Gosling.
said God. It's definitely Gosling. Um, but
Gotcha.
yeah, he's been surprising me. He has no business being nominated for an Oscar for Barbie, but he really did kill that role, and he does a really good job. Like he just has found his niche, and I think this movie will be more of that. So I'm gonna give this like a solid 3.
Yeah, I think Gosling is good in action. I don't. I can't see giving it a three. I put it right around where The Quiet Place is because, again, for me, and I think the way the industry just is now in general, it's about franchises. I mean, if you have one good movie, then you know they're going to make a franchise out of it. But if it's like your first time out, I can't put any movie like that high because I don't have big expectations for original franchises. That's the reason why movie studios are investing so much into franchises because there isn't a lot of expectation for a one-off. Now, it does sound like an interesting concept. I don't know how many times they could do that. And if it is successful, they're
Oh,
gonna
I think
try
it's a
it.
one-off.
Yeah, so if it's a one-off for what it's worth, I think I could put it at a quiet place level at best. So I'll say 2.5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Maybe we should talk about this later, but I personally am like so over franchises. I mean, superhero fatigue thing. I've never experienced it. I don't experience it. I don't even believe in it. But I
Superhero
understand.
fatigue?
Yeah, like people get tired of seeing superhero movies. Even if they suck, I will still forever watch them, Like I just rewatched Electro, which is probably one of the worst Marvel movies of all time. Absolute trash. But I don't have superhero fatigue. But I
Wait,
do
there is no Electro. What are you talking about?
know it's the Electra from Deadpool with
Oh, I
I mean
thought
from Daredevil with
Daredevil. I thought you said Electro,
oh no, Electra.
like Jamie Foxx. I'm like, there is no Electro movie. Oh, Electra from the Ben Affleck Daredevil run. Interesting.
Yes, Jennifer Gardner.
Jennifer Garner, yeah.
Trash. Absolute trash. But mad respect for the woman because she can do a pull up with one arm. As a woman, that's like freaking
Wow.
impossible. She
And
did
it
like
probably might
eight
have been
of them.
fake too.
Huh?
Might have been fake too.
No,
Could
I
have been
think it was probably real. Have you seen her
could have been
arms? She
fake.
was really jacked for that movie. Um,
Um,
but the movie was
Physics,
probably the
but
best
yeah.
thing I've ever seen in my life. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in superhero fatigue only because I think the characters are still really pure, and I just don't like when franchise or when the studios I can get studio fatigue. Like when I'm done with the current regime, whoever's in charge, or whether it's a Feige or a I'm already sick or Whedon or like I'm already tired of James Gunn. Like um, I can get tired of that, but I don't get tired of the movies themselves. Um,
yeah, no, I agree. Which is
yeah,
why
but I don't
I'm
get
hopeful for
franchise
good.
fatigue.
I
Maybe we
kind
should
of
do a video about that. I think that's interesting because I've never heard
yeah,
you say that.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm desperate for good original content, new
Yes, original
ideas.
content, but I think good original content does generate franchises.
Yeah, but I think we don't, some things don't need to have a sequel.
No, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I'm wondering, are you over the franchises that we have, or are you over franchises in general? Like even if something is good and would be deserving of a franchise, you're just like no. Because I mean, in recent times, I would say Hunger Games was a great franchise, at least the first trilogy, and then I haven't seen the new one.
I haven't
That was
seen the
like a
new one.
modern franchise that was like it was based off a book, but it kind of came into its own.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, well, I guess we should talk about this then. I guess we'll make a video talking about
Sure.
franchise
Stay
fatigue.
tuned,
Do
guys.
you have it?
Subscribe.
Question mark.
Wow. Yeah, Sid doesn't make the titles on the channel. That
Anyway, all right. Well, I mean, that's all I got.
was everything you got. Okay. Just one last bit on the game. What do you think?
Oh, the football game.
No, the bowling tournament.
I thought the game was boring. I was disappointed. I love Mahomes and I love watching him and Kelsey play. And I just felt like there were only a couple of plays that got me like excited about football. There weren't even any really good hits. I'm not saying that people should get injured when they play football, but there weren't even any injuries. Like, it was just.
Yes, there was. I think Debo Samuel pulled a hamstring on one play,
All right,
but
he
that's
pulled a
like an
hand.
old man injury. It
Yeah,
wasn't
like
because he
come
got
on. I
hit.
pulled the
Yeah.
hammy yesterday. Like, so yeah, I mean the game was fine. I'm sad for C-Mac because I love him and I would have loved to see him win. I think he's a good player and I think he's gotten so close so often and just can't seem to get a good team around him to take him all the way. So that made me sad. But otherwise, it was all right. Usher, on the other hand,
Yeah. How about that?
Super Bowl performances, I think probably of all time, at least of the last 10 years for sure. Yeah, I thought he was great, and I absolutely loved his performance, and I absolutely love Usher. And yeah, that's all I got. What about you?
Shit. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think the game was a bit of a snore fest, low scoring. I
Why
mean,
did
when
it
you're
go
talking
into
about,
overtime?
yeah, people want to say, oh, it's rigged or whatever. I'm like, if it was rigged, they should have had more scoring than that. I was hoping
Uh huh.
for a game in the high 20s to mid 30s, and just to see it barely break into the 20s at all was a little disappointing. Not a lot of high flying action, not these dudes airing it out and big hits and like what you expect. So that
Oh,
was
there was some
just
drama. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, what drama?
Well, Kelsey practically jumping on Andy Reid for who knows what, and
Oh yeah.
somebody else slapped somebody in the face. That was exciting.
Wow. Yeah, that those things did happen. Okay, it wasn't without a couple of instances, but I was glad they kept the T Swizzle stuff to a minimum because even though I have nothing against Taylor Swift, um, that's not what most people are going to watch the Super Bowl for. They're football fans. They want to enjoy football, and of course, we had the shots of Taylor Swift. Understandable. She's a superstar, big star, and she's dating a big star. So I get that. But it was not overdone. I think it was tasteful. And then again, the Super Bowl, the halftime show was, I think, great. It was top five for me. Um, but yeah, overall, the Super Bowl was okay. And my team, the team I wanted to win, won, which was the Chiefs. Even though I'm an
Yeah.
Eagles fan, go Birds.
Honestly, props so to the Chiefs because now they definitely have this dynasty thing. I didn't even know this was a thing people were talking about. But I mean, to go to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row and win 3 years in a
You,
row, hats off to them. That's
you
nice. I'm
didn't
not.
know that the Chiefs had a dynasty
I
in
told
the
you.
works.
I don't know the news. I don't know what people be talking about, but I'm happy
This
for
is
them.
weird because you run a channel that deals with the newest movies and TV shows.
Speaking of guys, TWD, The Ones Who Live is coming out next week. Who's excited? I'm excited. I can barely
Oh,
contain my joy.
super excited. Speaking of that, that's a great segue. What can we look forward to, guys? We Sids is back. We
Yeah,
will
we're
be
back.
creating more content,
Full on,
hitting you
baby.
guys weekly, with new
Hitting
content,
you
new shows,
weekly.
movies. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned for some of the stuff we have coming up. Sid, why don't you give us a sneak peek of what you have coming up in the next few weeks?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely going to be covering Dune Part 2. I'm excited about that. I might even go cover some Lisa Frankenstein. That's what's out right now in the theaters. Not going to lie, guys. Right now, as far as features, it is a little dry. Hopefully, things will pick up towards the summertime. But yeah, so definitely going to be covering Dune. May or may not cover The Ones Who Live. Maybe I might do that. We'll see about that one. But for sure, features. I'm gonna probably be your main girl for features out of the two of us. So yeah, I'll be doing lots of movies and maybe even doing some like nostalgia stuff of like good movies from like the 2000s that we just don't really get to talk about anymore because that was over 20 years ago.
Yeah, and that nobody wants to talk about. No, I'm just kidding. Some great franchises for sure, Sid. I think that's going to be cool. For me, you guys can look forward to Three Body Problem coming up March 21st. It's in a bit, about a month away, a little over a month away. I'm super excited for that franchise. I think it's something that is right up my alley. It's sci-fi. It's going to be action packed, but it's something that I can jump in on the ground level with you guys. I don't like doing a lot of research on new shows. I know that there's been a version that's come out in the past. I haven't read any of the literature around it to kind of get ahead of the game and know what's going on because I really like to break it down with you guys in real time. So that is coming soon, excuse me. And then obviously The Walking Dead, that's coming up very soon. I don't know if I'm going to be able to jump right onto that TV show because of stuff happening with the Granny Geek show. You can check out that channel as well, link down below. But either way, we're going to have lots of shorts coming your way. We're going to have lots of reactions, live streams, and content for your favorite movies and TV shows. And as always, you got to let us know down in the comments below any shows you'd like to see us cover.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's safe to say that March is going to be a really busy month for us, just pushing out content to you guys and kind of reviving the channel, bringing us back to life. So, yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our post Super Bowl live stream breaking down the best trailers and movies. Let us know down in the comments which ones you're excited to see and click the bell so you know when we drop new videos. We've got tons of content coming your way. So I'm Chris, this is Sydney, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.